Hi there. Hey, thanks for stopping by and checking out Pete's Snakebite Kit again. Today what we're going to talk about is the reality of building a Cobra kit. It is not all fun and games, boys and girls. Psych, we're not ready for prime time, but it does crank. Alright, so the realities of building a Cobra kit. So I said from the beginning of this YouTube channel that I was going to talk about all of it, the good stuff, the bad stuff, the frustrating stuff. And I want to be clear, overall this has been an absolute blast building this Cobra. It's literally a dream come true for me, so that's the bottom line. But there has been frustrating stuff, there's been fun stuff, there's been a learning curve on things and so on, and I want to go through some of that today. But first I want to show you a couple shots of a couple cars. Two guys came over, Wayne and Mark, and showed me their cars. One was a B&B, which is Butler & Butler. They're out of business now, but they built Cobras for a long time. The other is a Factory 5 car. I just have a couple shots of them. I apologize for not getting more, but a couple of real nice cars. What we talked about there is them building their cars and then them seeing me mid-build on mine and kind of discussing what it was like building theirs and what I'm going through. Very eye-opening. Let's look at a couple shots of their cars. The Cobra in front is a B&B kit. It's got a small block 302 in it. The one in back is a Factory 5 kit. It's got a big block Ford 385 series, which would be a 429, 460. It's a large cubic inch version of that. And what was really eye-opening to me, you guys, thanks for bringing them by, is them looking at mine and looking at the challenges I've had and said, dude, it's absolutely normal. I mean, the B&B car, he actually had to move some pieces around on the frame to get things square and make the alignment right on it and so on. So, you know, I'm running into no kind of problems like that. So it was really neat seeing those, really appreciate them coming by, and it gave me more of an appreciation for my car. They really liked what they saw on this Hurricane kit the closer they looked at it. So on the wiring, I'll show you what I don't have done. So this lead here is the lead that comes out to the front of the car for the horn, the headlights, the blinkers, and so on. And what's really cool about this, that wire is obviously for, I don't know how well it picks up here, that's for the low beams. Let's see, that one's the front ground, and so on. Every one of the wires in this wiring harness are labeled, which makes this obviously a lot easier than building a conventional harness or doing it yourself. So I've got the engine pretty well wired. What I've done here is I've got, you can see down here, I've got the brake light switch, I've got the oil pressure, and I've got the oil temperature sender down there. I found this little aluminum block at McMaster Car. You can't really see it, but if you've done many small block Fords, you know that there's this it's kind of goofy how to get your oil pressure set there. And we're coming across there. We've got the MSD wired, their starter relay. I've got the alternator wired with a pretty good sized cable because it's a pretty high amp alternator. And some of the stuff under the dash I don't have done. I've still got to deal with the wiper motor with a couple of the indicator lights on there, but I've got most of that wired where the thing will actually crank and it would run if I had a couple other parts. I've got the dashboard in, and I'm loving that dashboard. Those are the original Smith gauges with a Lucas ammeter. Yes, Prince of Darkness. I know all the Lucas jokes, but that's what came in the car, so that's what I wanted to do. Out and back here, I've got the battery wired and all of the leads coming back here to power the MSD and the electronic fuel injection. Got the leads down here for the fuel injection pump and the cinder. So I'm putting this Cool It Thermal Ice insulation in the car. I'm going to put this through the whole interior. I've used up the first load I got, and I'm going to get some more from Summit. It's like Dynamat, but a different brand. And as you can see, I'm putting it in a lot of places. Hopefully this will cut down on the noise, vibration, and some of the heat. See, I've got it across the back of the firewall there. And then I even put a piece, you know, across the dash here. Any flat surface like that is an opportunity for sound waves to kind of make a boom there. So I'm hoping that will deaden that out. I want to do the inside of the doors and so on to just make that feel and sound a little better. Next thing I'm going to work on is getting the steering wheel and the steering column in. You can see the steering wheel there. And it looks like it could have come out of a Volkswagen. Because it did. Why do I have a Volkswagen blinker arm? Because that's what Carroll Shelby put on them back in the day. Then I showed you the parking brake earlier in an earlier video. I need to sink it through the floor there. I'm going to be cutting through there, resinking that, redoing the cables, getting that all tight and happy again. The steering system is going to come through a series of shafts and U-joints. I've got those. I am missing a couple parts. I called back to Hurricane and they're getting those shipped out. It's going to come through this bracket there where it'll mount bushing there, and it'll come through to right about there. I showed you the brake lines a couple weeks ago. I don't think I was completely done. Except for having the reservoirs on here, I'm ready to bleed these guys. I need to get the aluminum done, which I'll show you in a minute, to get the brake system ready to go and bled. But I've got those all done up and strung, and I think they turned out pretty well. This sheet aluminum, which I got from Hurricane, I need to get these mounted, and then the reservoirs will go right there. I've got to make a trim here that doesn't quite clear piece there on the upper control arm that I want to have it clear. I think it'll look a little better that way. So I've got to put some of that on, and getting close to driving this thing as a dune buggy. I'm thinking we're a few weeks away from that. Can't wait. So on the battery cables, you can see what I did here. I've got the big juice coming in here, and then these are all the ones that need to be run directly back to the battery for the computer stuff. So to unhook this, what I did is I didn't want to be running this bolt in and out and wear out the threads in the battery because they're just lead. So that one goes in, and I just back that nut off, and then there's no pressure on it, and then that comes out. I don't know if it's good or bad, but it's something I figured out, and it works. So there you saw a shot of the website for Haywire. Like I say, very, very helpful, very high quality stuff. And if you buy a kit and it comes with those, I think you'll be very happy with it. If you're building a car and you need a wire kit, I would definitely recommend Haywire. If you buy a Cobra and you have the option to use somebody else or use your own wiring, I'm telling you, it's a high quality kit and the support is amazing. So there you have it. There's my progress report, let's say, and my reality report. I really appreciate Mark and Wayne bringing their cars by so I could get a look at them and really giving me their opinion on what it took to build theirs in comparison to what it's taking to build mine. It was honestly very encouraging to get their take and how much they appreciate the quality build on this Hurricane and where I'm at on it. So you guys really, thanks for coming by. I enjoy making these. I have enjoyed building this car. I can't wait till it's running. I'm gonna keep these videos coming. At some point, you're gonna see this thing run. We're gonna go for a ride. Anyway, stay safe out there. Hey, send a comment, a question in if you have any questions on this. I love responding to those. And if I'm missing something, let me know. I've learned quite a bit on here from you guys that are sending me some tips and so on. So thanks for doing that. We will see you next time. So you might notice a little bit different view. The first part of this was on my GoPro. Now we're back to the faithful iPhone because like I threw that thing over my shoulder a couple weeks ago, if you remember, got halfway through this thing and it overheated. I think a GoPro is one of the only things that work better if they're submerged in salt water. Don't know what's up with that thing, you guys. I've done everything I can figure out looking at stuff on the web and not really happy with that thing. I've had it with this GoPro.